Okay, I'm gonna try to pull my thoughts together. This is take two. One day I'm gonna formulate a way of like typing my thoughts out and then collecting them in some sort of organized, efficient manner so that before I speak, but I'm not there yet, which kind of circles back around to this point. So I just found a post from this girl, and I can't remember her name, on Instagram. It's on my stories if you want to check it out. And she, in a nutshell, she pretty much essentially was saying that the main reason that we as a people are less resilient now, or that we perceive ourselves as less resilient, is because we are missing the dragonfly. He's okay. We are missing this village aspect, the tribe that we come from, that's like still, so that's still like embedded in our DNA. But now, we're sold this idea that we need to have all these things, a house, a car, and, once you have a family, you have all these responsibilities, and it's just like we have just compiled the demands upon ourselves, and somewhere along the way we lost that connection with each other, and so we feel like we're supposed to just take it on ourselves. Or it's like, it seems like a lot of people, it's just like them, and then maybe you have like a couple of people, and maybe you do have your own tribe, and that's amazing. So obviously this isn't gonna speak to everybody, but it definitely, of course, resonates with me, the single mom, everyone who goes through autism essentially struggles with feeling isolated. So of course there's like an added element there. But before being a mom, like, it's interesting because I've always loved solitude, and even before, healing work and stuff, I didn't hate being alone. I went to a concert alone one time. It was actually really fun. But I don't know. I just remember different times in my life, like really feeling fulfilled when I had like a group of people around me that we kind of were uplifting each other, like in fitness. And I would seek that out. I wanted to find people that were inspiring or whatever. And we know this about ourselves. Like, we know that the people around you are affecting you in different ways. And of course, this can also be not good when it's karmic, but at the same time, and then there's lessons involved in that and whatnot. But it just hit me so hard because I was like, we are living in this time where we think that all these things that we have are going to fulfill us, or like being able to, work hard and then go on a vacation. And it's like, not to say that any of that's not fun or good, or any of that, but it's like we're starved for, when we don't have that connection, we're starving for it, and we're trying to fill it. We're trying to fill it with these things that are not fulfilling. Because I think about, for me, and I'm like, I don't know the difference. I have already met some people online that I connect with on a deeper level, and but I don't really have anyone and like in my like physical reality that I spend time with. Definitely the Moon Circle, that was a really cool like finding, and that those are definitely people that I connect with and stuff. But it still is like, it's like we all have this. We grew up with it. We grew up with maybe a lot of narcissism, maybe a lot of, every man for himself. Like that was the narrative that we were sold. And when you're just trying to survive, or, you're just trying to make money to pay rent, and then it's the next thing. And then it's like, I got a boat, and now that I got to maintain that. I got a pool. Like, it's too easy to get stuck in that track forever. And, I know I'm in a place that's like, I want to create something that cultivates more community, because I think that we would all I know that we would all be happier and better off, and once you start to take time to heal and love yourself, you realize, I don't want to suffer forever. I don't want to, or I don't even want to struggle forever. Like there is growth, of course, like in the struggle, and I want that too. Like I want growth. I want both. I want growth, but I also don't want to struggle on my way there. I still want to stop and breathe and enjoy life and slow down and allow pleasure in and joy and those sorts of things. But when you're just constantly in survival, you can't experience all of what's available. There's like so much I want to get out. I'm not able to slow down. But okay, the other piece that's like hit me really hard when I was speaking this is that, like I said, we know we like to have friends, and we know we want to have connections and good relationships, but we've gotten so far away from it. This is why I'm so passionate about this, because I feel like we still have so much work, there's so much involved in relationships and building strong relationships. And I think that if we did start there, everything else wouldn't be so intense and so hard. And again, if we could delegate tasks with one another, then you may not be having to always run around with your head cut off, So one of the first things I noticed with YouTube and all these different people who like put their stuff out there is like they're building these little tribes, these little communities, like especially with the ASMR. That's a whole other thing. I mean, it's not, you could argue that it's like cult-like. I mean, there's always both sides, but in one way or another, there's a community element. But I do think that there's something about online that it's never going to be, there's just certain things about it. It's like, you just can't physically be there. You can't, there's a lack of intimacy there when you're online. And yet I also know that like, I've had some really special experiences with people like across seas and stuff like that I wouldn't have been able to experience if it weren't for the internet, but I just think something about the physical, since being able to bring someone into all of your senses and your energy, your auric field, like having someone in that space with you is such a special exchange that we can only have if we have people around, a village around us. So I just think that even the online, without also having that in your physical reality is, I don't want to say insufficient, but it's like once you start to heal and love yourself, it's like I want abundance in all aspects, and I don't want to just struggle through the rest of this life. It's like I don't want to die being on the hamster wheel. Like and I already know that I've been very, very blessed to have experienced some deeper connections and all of that. Like think about all of the times, like those are the things that mean the most to me. And I know that there's people here who have all different kinds of paths, and I'm not here to speak for anybody else, except for those who resonate, with the message. But yeah, the moments of connection to me mean more than anything. And I don't think that we need to struggle through the rest of this life. There's going to be karma you have to deal with. There's going to be, you have your life lessons that you have to came here, you have to learn. And so it's like, why not make it a little bit smoother, and like come together and work together and collaborate. But it's like, we still have like these blockages, like these mental, and we're habitual, we're just so used to doing things a certain way that it is hard to break it down. It's hard to like let people in. Like my neighbors, I think about it all the time, that I needed to be better about that I'm the only mom, I don't want to drag this out, I might cut this part off. I'm the only mom my neighbor, she's the one with the 1-year-old, she'll come out here a lot with her baby, but I'm the only mom that stays with Teddy. Like they all, because their kids are fine. They all just run around and they go back home. But Teddy will wander or whatever. Like I have to be out here with him, and he's pretty good with the cars, but I just have to keep an eye on him. And so anyways, it's always on my mind that I'm like, I want to find our I would love to have like communal living, or like to create a space for like women to come together and just be there for each other. And yeah, of course I feel so much for the single parents, because we feel it even more. So anyways, I made it to 10 minutes. I made it under 10 minutes, so let's cut it off now. All right, I hope y'all are good.